Hey, what's up, people? As I said, UFC 145, that was a pretty good card, better than I thought it was going to be. So, thought I'd be kind of remiss if I didn't speak about some of the other things that were going on. As we know, as I've spoken about before, John Jones defeated Rashad Evans uh, in a kind of a tentative, like a little bit of a tentative display by both fighters. John Jones being very wary of the takedowns, and Rashad Evans, for some reason, just fighting not to lose. Trying to be brief on that as to not disrespect the rest of the card. But yeah, that's just another thing that I kind of forgot to speak about earlier. I mean, it's like as much as I don't like them, it just sucks to see people work so hard to not, to when they get to the place where they work, when they get to the level that they were searching for, to just, choke, as so to speak, to go through so much, to just sacrifice so much, put in so much, only to just fail at this point, to not even try at all. To try so hard to get there and not try once you get there, not do your best, not let it all hang out. That's just disappointing whether you like the guy or not. Not just it. But oh well. That's on the other hand, that's why John Jones is so great, because he's capturing these moments at a very young age. He's being put in these high pressure situations, and he's performing and passing with flying colors. I mean, it just brings you back to just some of my favorite fighters like Rampage and Florian, and Kenny. Uh, the guys are just way too talented. They've been around way too long to put on showings like they showed. Like I was watching like Kenny versus Jose. You're gonna find me talking about a lot of old fights since I miss talking about them on videos, but Kenny's against Aldo. I mean, yeah, he may have got knocked out, but I would have liked that a lot better. I think he would have liked that a lot better if he actually went for it instead of just shooting for like futile takedowns. You're not a wrestler. Yes, you can do it, but yes, you got great jiu-jitsu, but that's not your game, man. Fight, fight. But anyway, on to the rest of the card. We had a showcase fight for Rory McDonald against Chi Mills. I think that's what I heard him call, so that's what I'm going to call him. Chi Mills. Or Che Mills. But I like Che Mills. But anyway, Rory versus Mills. Uh, I wasn't too huge on this fight as a co-main event. That's probably a third or fourth one, or maybe fifth one from the card or something. But man, like I said, it was a showcase for Rory McDonald, and he really and he really did it. Um, I kind of knew that she was in trouble here because I think the only fight of his that I really saw besides the Chris Cope, quick stoppage was one of his fights. I don't know if he had two or one, but one of his fights with Marios Ceramiskis. Is that how you? But Marios, the former Dream, welterweight champion. Uh, he was easily taken down and had his guard passed by Marios, who's known for his kickboxing more than his grappling. Uh, it was a good fight, but like I said, it was very low level, for grappling at best. And for him to be able to take down and control that, I knew that if he would get taken down by Roy McDonald, he would not get up, and he'd be in a lot of trouble, and he was. Roy made pizza out of his face in the first round, and just finally just beat the crap out of him, just finally finished it off mercifully in the second round. Roy McDonald, very strong grappler. I think he has a knockout to his credit too. So he's just a very hard-working kid, very talented kid. Next GSP, I'm not sure. We're gonna have to see how he does against some top-level fighters in the welterweight division, but definitely someone that I've had my eye on for a little bit. Pretty excited to see him fight. Also on the card was Big Ben Rothwell versus Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub coming off a knockout victory against let me see. No. Brendan Schaub coming a knockout loss against Minotaur Nogueira. And coming into this fight, I think it would be fair to say that he suffers from he's a little bit chinny. And I think that is something that holds him back, and is something that held him back in this fight. Everyone talks about how impressed they were with Big Ben Rothwell, the kind of shape he put himself in, and he did. However, he looked a lot like the old Big Ben Rothwell. He was in trouble before that knockout. He got hurt. And he I kind of feel bad for Shad because he ended up getting, he had him where he wanted him. It's kind of like the same thing with the Nogueira fight. He was looking good up until that knockout. Same thing against Roy to a point. He just was looking. He just gets hit, bam, out of nowhere. He is just starched out cold. So it's just that's the thing. Working so hard, putting it in, doing what you can to improve, only to be one punch away from getting knocked out every time you step in. That all goes out the window because you can't take the abuse. And I think that's the story on Brendan Schaub. No matter how hard he works, that chin is always going to hold him back. Also, someone else that got starched there was Miguel Torres. Some people say that this marks the end of him as a contender in the bantamweight division. Uh, he's kind of been done for a while, personally. He's just never really been able to recapture that magic after the loss to Brian Bowles. I think he's lost him by submission, the guillotines, been decision by Mighty Mouse, and now he's just a stone cold knockout. Uh, I don't want to say I don't want I don't know a whole lot about his career. Just previous to the WEC. I know he once was a pound for pound fighter. Just was listening in that voice, but maybe that experience has just come back to bite him because he's been in the cage too many times. But who knows? Another fight on this card was, of course, Mark Hominick versus Eddie Hagen. It's funny how a lot of people try to make this fight controversial, and I don't really get it. Eddie Hagen just knocked him down twice in the first 2 rounds. Not a whole lot was happening. Hominick had a lot of great technical striking and everything, but what's really kind of got my goat or something is even after this, after the first 2 rounds. I mean, in the third round, Hominick was looking pretty good. He was, he hurt Eddie Hagen. Eddie was gassed, and he was like tagging him with a couple shots. And it just, it's one thing to think you won, or just whatever. I'm not gonna get, but okay, sometimes you don't get that finish, but for you to get dropped in those 2 rounds and being so confident you won, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna do push-ups after it's over. Maybe you should have used that energy to actually try to finish them. I mean, to there lose the decision, but you still got gas in the tank. It's not a good look. And it's like it comes up to a lot of other things, like his last fight before that with the Korean zombie. It's like he touched fists, then he immediately goes in for a square up. Now, whatever school of thought you have as far as touching fists, some people like it, some people hate it. If you're gonna touch fists, the polite thing, if you're polite enough to touch a guy's fist, step back and reset. Don't just go in. I mean, they kind of taught him a lesson there when the zombies knocked him out like 7 seconds later. I mean, that was kind of a dick move, just like the push-ups. And just then, boom! What a surprise! What happened to you? I mean, I heard he was a good guy, but those weren't a good look at all. Well, like I said, overall, good card. Hopefully, I'll be back at you pretty soon. Been in a video making mood lately. It's like, who knows, I may take off into some other things, but definitely I'm looking forward to making more videos for y'all. Hope you like them. I enjoy making them.